Oh, yes. Can you believe it? In less than 24 hours, we have playoff basketball. Let that sink in as we welcome you to our NBA Today playoff preview. I'm Malika Andrews, and over the next hour, we are going to dive into each and every series that tip off this weekend. And we know 6 of the 8 matchups, right? They're set. Tonight, we get the final 2 play-in games that's going to determine who the number 1 seed, the Pistons, and the reigning champs, the Thunder, are going to play. As OKC starts that quest to repeat, they want to become the first time the champs have repeated since the Warriors did it 8 seasons ago. As we say hello to my partners, Shanae Agumake, Danny Green. Let's break this down, my friend. Let's roll through what we do know, and we're going to start in the West here. Here we know we have the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, in the playoffs for the first time, facing the Blazers. And then, this is a matchup we've seen a couple of times, right, over the last couple of seasons. The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, get your popcorn. And then we got the OG matchup here with LeBron James and Kevin Durant facing off. Right, that's kind. The legends. What's most intriguing to you, Shanae, out West?
You know I love OGs as an Ogwumake, but I'm going to pivot here, and I'm really excited about this one right here because Anthony Edwards has a target list. He likes to take out legends. We've seen it with KD and Book in the postseason. We've seen it. I know it was a stuffless Warriors for the most part, but he still took them down. He took down LeBron and Luka Doncic. And so overall, when you think about Anthony Edwards, these are the moments that legends are made.
Yep.
He's so young, but the potential is already there for him to make more history.
That's a little stink face you gave it over.
Oh, you don't agree?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be fun, lights, camera, action, but Minnesota, to me, has not been that great, and Denver's been really good. But I do want to see Anthony Edwards against Denver. He does take out Giants.
It's always fun when these two play. All right, that's the West. How about we switch over to the East here, Danny? How many times...
Impress me, Danny.
Do you
I'm not as impressive as you.
Do you think these two teams, the Celtics and 76ers, have played in the postseason?
Yes.
Ever?
How many times?
Yeah, 23
I was going to say 40.
I didn't think that's a lot.
Yeah, that's the most in NBA history. And then we get the Hawks and the Knicks. No, it's not Trae Young back in the Garden, but these two, there's some bad blood there.
Atlanta's hooping.
And it's not LeBronto, but we do get the Cavaliers facing a team that they struggled with in the regular season, the Toronto Raptors. Who are you watching in this?
Normally, I would say that 23 times, you said 23 times.
Yeah,
right?
23 times.
But no Joel Embiid. We don't know what he's looking like.
Right.
So it's not as exciting to me. I'm going to go with this 4-5 matchup here in Toronto.
Oh, curveball.
Why? Because these guys have a lot to prove. There's a lot of pressure on James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. This was a team that had high expectations. They were supposed to be a number 1 or 2 seed, even before James got there. And since he's been there, they've been very up and down. They haven't had a lot of minutes on the road together. Jared Allen's been out. James has been out. Evan Mobley's not. Donovan, they've only had like 10, maybe 11 games together as a whole. And Toronto has the season. They're leading them in the season. They won the season series. Sorry, stumbling here. But that was early November, so it's a totally 2 different teams.
Correct.
But they have nothing to lose, so this is going to be a battle, and Cleveland has a lot to prove.
I can't wait. The first round gets underway this weekend, but let's take a look at the odds. This is according to DraftKings Sportsbook for the title winners, going all the way to the end. And yes, of course, it's the Thunder that are the strong favorites at plus 110. They're followed, though, by the Spurs, who jumped the Celtics. They are favored, though, to win the Eastern Conference. And earlier today, we got to hear from Jason Tatum on being back in the postseason.
I didn't even know if I was going to play this year, so I get the opportunity to, be a part of the team and play in the playoffs. I couldn't be more grateful.
Tatum is Tatum, man. Tatum is Tatum. That's the good thing about the great ones, regardless if they're limited or if they're not all the way themselves. They just adapt to the game. It's one game at a time, and that's really just how I'm looking at it. However, the chips settle, but can't win a championship without winning the first one, so we just got to stack some wins.
That's true. It's going to be great, though, to see JT back in the postseason. This is what he's been working to come back for, right? But when we're looking at the biggest storylines just of this first round, Sinead, he's certainly one. Is there another you're looking at?
Oh, I'm so excited. For one player in particular. I'm always excited all the time.
But this player, super-sized player?
It is. Absolutely. What will Wemby do? What will Wemby do? My claim to fame this season, maybe people slept on it, was before the All-Star break and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was out, I said Victor Wembanyama is the most dominant player right now in the NBA. And hey, he made me look really smart because the second half of the season, he has been sensational. When he's played, the Spurs are 22-2 post-All-Star.
Yep.
And he's been averaging 26-12. It's not what you do, how you do it, dominating all facets. And so we've been waiting for a moment for Victor to really have a breakout when it comes to games that matters most. And so I'm excited to see what he'll do in the postseason.
I mean, he's a superstar. We're all excited to see Wemby. But against Portland, I'm not as excited. I think they should beat them at 5 games.
Which means he's going to have big games.
For sure. It's Portland, but I'm excited to see Wemby.
You're overlooking Donovan Clingan just like that.
Yeah, right. I shouldn't. Donovan Clingan has definitely stepped up his game. He's been very good. But for me, who I'm looking at is the storyline of the Charlotte Hornets. And I hope they come out of this playing because we want to see that smoke with Charlotte and Detroit. I mean, Cade Cunningham's come back. They've had some. You see LaMelo talk crazy to certain guys on Detroit bench, Isaiah Stewart, whoever it is, Moussa Diabate, Miles Bridges. Kobe White's been playing at a high level, but Charlotte, to me, has been the best storyline of the second half of the season, if not the season. They could turn this around and get to that 8 seed and maybe put Detroit in a 6-game playoff series. This would be a heck of a year for this group.
You're looking at an 8 seed. I'm looking at the defending champions, the #1 overall seed. Malika, you mentioned how long it's been since we've had a repeat champion. 7 champs over the last 7 years. Is itty-bitty Oklahoma City going to be the ones? It's a tiny little market. It's a tiny little market. Are they going to be the ones to end that trend? And, yeah, I'm excited about Wemby, but let's go north on I-35. Let's go north in the standings, and they might collide in the conference finals. But Oklahoma City, is this the next dynasty? If it is, you got to repeat.
And history says that they got a pretty good shot at being able to do so, right? Because when you take a look at #1 seeds, they've won the title 64% of the time since seeding began back in the mid-'80s. And that includes, of course, the last 3 champions. So no repeat since the Golden State Warriors did it in 2018. And, Danny, you've been on title teams that have mounted their comeback to try to do it again. It is hard to win consecutive titles. What do you think is going to be the thing that stands in Oklahoma's path? Because it's easy to just say OKC is going to do this again. It's much more difficult than that.
No, it's harder to win a championship the second time around.
Really?
Yes, the target is bigger on your chest. Everybody's giving you their best shot. Teams are gearing up to change their rosters to beat you, to be like you, to take your formula and do it against you. So every team, especially the Spurs or the Denver Nuggets, have geared up for this Oklahoma City Thunder type of team. Golden State's been great, and we've seen some good things from them. I don't know if they have that yet, but I'm interested to see them in this playing game because they have some things that I'm looking forward to seeing.
In order to repeat as champions, I think they have to get back to that blueprint of having their X factor be the Robin, right? We already know who the Batman is, the probably front runner, of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP, but people undercount what J-Dub did in that finals run. I'll never forget, rent-free in my brain, the 40-piece Game 5 of the NBA Finals that really helped OKC break through because at that point, they were sort of going toe-and-toe, neck and neck with the Pacers, and they needed someone to take the pressure off of SGA, and he delivered. J-Dub averaged 23 and 6 in the NBA Finals. Now, this year, it was different because he missed a lot of games, and Chet Holmgren has stepped up in that void, but still, is that consistency or lack thereof going to impact them on their second goal right now?
And Dub did that with a shooting wrist that needed surgery that caused him to miss the first 19 games. It really bothered him for a lot of the season. Then he had the hamstring problems. He's as healthy as he's been all season.
That's good news.
They got a big-time break, OKC did, on the last day of the regular season when the brackets broke, right? Because it looked like they were going to have to go through both Denver and San Antonio just to get back to the finals. Now, the way the brackets are set up, Denver and San Antonio are going to have a slugfest should that series happen in the second round. With Oklahoma City, I'm not saying they're getting a bye. I'm just saying I cannot see Houston or the wounded Lakers being able to end OKC's run.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So they're thanking the basketball gods for that. You know, San Antonio really, I wouldn't say dropped the ball, but I don't think they're running from smoke. They're preparing themselves for that matchup. I think when it comes down to it, OKC, these matchups are not going to prepare for them when they get to the Western Conference Finals against a Denver or a San Antonio team because they had it so easy. So this might be a gift and a curse. We don't know.
I do hope we get to see at some point Oklahoma City and San Antonio in the postseason. That just feels like the regular season matchups we got. There is no other matchup that you watch that had quite the same feel of, man, I hope we get this in the NBA Finals. But aside from that, I don't know about y'all, there's nothing that gets me more excited for the postseason than watching some highlights of all-time playoff moments. Yeah, this is the top of the top, Game 1, Round 1 over the years. There was plenty to choose from, but this is what we distilled it down to. This is 1993. Pippen saves it to Jordan.
Got the mitts.
Oh, look at that.
That's it with one hand.
That's the baseball catch right there.
Are you serious?
Not everyone can shoot mid-range off the glass like Jordan.
Palming it on the way down right to a jumper.
How about 2011? This is the Mavs at the Thunder.
I was here for this one.
KD.
You see how shot that was one bounce?
Over two defenders.
Look at this.
Sean Marion.
That was a push shot.
Let me see that friendly roll.
Let me see that friendly roll.
Janae, this one's for you. Okay, 2003. How about some T-Mac? Right?
Oh my gosh, this is when I grew up watching basketball in the Cypress, Texas. The But yeah, that was my team. That was my guy.
That's Bron in high school. There in the stands.
Put down the nachos. What the hell just happened?
Everyone needs a snack. How about the Suns and Spurs? Same year, 2003. Suns down 2, 5 seconds left. Stephon Marbury. Did he call glass?
Bank is open.
Bank's open for the win.
I know that was Starberry.
Had to be during the week. Bank was open.
I was going to say something, but I have to save it for commercial.
Oh, man. At number 1, get the bleep button ready. Blazers, Lakers, this is 1998.
Watch out.
Oh, no.
Talk about catches. Mitts.
Rumbling down the lane there for this
Hey, you
playoff.
can't jump there. You cannot jump there.
We got to get some more of these types of highlights this weekend. This is just